マジックは時計はしないおいで召しませお姫様毒のリンゴを食べて眠っちゃいそうな素直すぎる君がとても愛しい当たり前こう宝物さ地球は回り日は昇り君は微笑む素直に I love you 届けようきっと You love me 伝わるさ君に似合うガラスの靴を探そう二人で Step and Go いつまでも深夜12時を過ぎたって僕らのラブマジックは時計はしない意地の悪いまま母にも急な雨にも寂しい夜にもへこたれない君がやはり愛しい遠く離れて会えない日は星に願って夢で会おう明日は晴れるや一生 I love you 変わらないそうさ You love me 永遠さ君に似合うダイヤのリング渡そうこれから何千回つまずいてさらに何万回転んでも君のガラスの靴は脱げはしないみんな乗ってる今回のこのなんたってアイドルそうグループ名はまじまじ当たり前こう宝物さ地球は回り日は昇り君は微笑む素直に I love you 届けようきっと You love me 伝わるさ君に似合うガラスの靴を探そう二人で Step and Go いつまでも深夜12時を過ぎたって君は僕の愛しい
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's finally Friday. Time for some disco. Yeah, we're playing some Yakuza music. I figured, like, video game music, you can't get in trouble for that. It's like, I can stream that. I could pull up Yakuza 6 and play that song 45 times and then go to bed, and there's nothing Twitch could do about it. So it's a good choice. But we're not here to play Yakuza. Not right now, not until the new one releases in November. Right now, we're playing Disco Elysium. Close Tony Hawk. They can't prove where it's coming from. They don't know it's me. I never heard that song in my life. All right. So, where were we last time? I know we tried to talk to Measurehead. It didn't go well. So much for being a physical character. Oh, come on. My PS4 is actually very quiet right now. It's actually kind of interesting. I mean, look at this. Look at this load time. Like this is how the world used to be. This was state of the art at one point. A slightly brighter black screen. Come on. There we go. So we should be able to just continue. Yeah, dude. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it right, dude. All right. What were we up to? We don't have any skill points. We did get a nice blue jacket out of the trash. Oh yeah, we talked to the lady. Joyce's info. She wants my badge. Report badge mystery. Oh, that's right. We gotta investigate that drug ring. We have to get the body down, of course, at some point. Up the guard, Lieutenant Love. Tell him how it is with women. Should we do that? I strategically avoided getting into all that with the chick, because I know how that goes. We can harass Guard any other time. Let's look into this drug ring. Or should we try and jump into the shipyard and talk to Everard? Ugh, so many choices. Oh, so many choices, Kim. Spin with me, Kim. Yeah. Yeah, let's talk to the drug ring. Stop between those trucks down there. Smokes, go get them. Where? I don't see any. Right here? Jackpot! You see that, Kim? I found a pack of cigarettes. Hey, nice dish
Stuck in the
gloves.
rain
Yeah, I
in a
got them from a
traffic jam,
gardener.
man. What's on your mind?
You seem like a man who knows about drugs.
Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way back.
Tell it, brother.
Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know?
Oh, I know.
But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man?
Oh, you know why the inquiry. Do you finance those other addictions with drug trafficking? Should I be straight with him? Does he seem like a reliable guy? I don't remember exactly. I feel like he is somewhat helpful. I know he's not the top of the drug ring. I think we could shoot straight with him. Or should we play it like, I need to get high, I'm looking for a dealer? What do we think? I got a new phone too. How about that? 14 plus or something. Harry, always getting high. Yeah, we'll play like I'm trying to get
Hey,
high.
man, that's serious criminal talk. Are you trying to pull some sort of an entrapment thing on me?
Entrapment? What's that?
Entrapment is where a law officer gets a person to commit a criminal offense they otherwise wouldn't commit, often through some trickery or fraud.
Yes. It's like trying to trick a person into doing something criminal that they'd never do.
Hey, if it yields results, thumbs up. I wouldn't do something like that. Yeah, well, hey, if it works.
So you do realize entrapment doesn't work if you announce you're going to do it in advance?
Alright, now we have to be straight. We have no... Alright, let me be straight with you. Trying to figure out who's smuggling drugs at a terminal B.
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on their lorry and drive it to Jamrock.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration.
Conflagration? Why are you still hanging around?
Gotta guard the stuff. Bosses don't look kindly on missing cargo, and it gives me time to work on my rhymes.
Ah, you're a rapper.
Working on these rhymes clearly leads to muscular atrophy. Make sure you don't get hooked on poetry.
Who do you think could be conducting the drug trade then?
Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions.
He's a poet. Hit him with your best verse. Damn. Alright. I'm not a smart guy. I'm not an emotional guy, but we'll see how it goes.
Wait, there's something here,
How does...
stored away in some dusty corner. It starts like...
It's always like 8% and I get it. And then I'll have like 80% and it'll fail. Like, I don't... Alright, whatever. Here we go. A mirror's temperature is always 0. It is ice in the veins. Its camera is an X-ray.
Whoa. What else?
It is a chalice held out to you in silent communion,
Silent communion. That's good.
where graspingly you partake of a shifting identity never your own.
Dang. That's some great shit. You came up with that yourself.
I think it might be an actual poet. I just learned it by heart. I'm just a vessel for the muse.
Right. But really, no bullshit. That's great stuff. I sort of want to know if it's yours.
I think the words are mine, yes.
Fucking hey. Seems I got you all wrong. Cops aren't much known for their artistic sensibilities these days. It's good to meet a fellow poet. Someone with an appreciation for real text. The others here, so you don't really get it.
It makes it all easier to bear if the words are pretty.
I get you. When they really click, it makes the world seem manageable. Good to be on the same page.
You found some
That-
common ground with this man. Even impressed him. The next time you look in the mirror, though, remember those words.
Do you think asking about drugs will change anything?
Ah, man. But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Hey, man, that's serious criminal talk. Are you trying to pull some sort of an... Then what's your
Alright.
deal here?
Yeah.
We
okay.
have a credible...
It just takes you
Not
down
me,
the same
man.
path.
No way. I don't... Look, man, I try to stay away from the
Alright.
criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions.
I don't think he really has anything else to tell me. I mean, unless we want to know more about the strike. Alright. Litter the surroundings. Human ox. Alright, let's go look at this statue and have our thoughts.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air with the aid of numerous ropes and rods.
Who is this?
A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "I am Philip III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippian kings of Revachol, son of Philip II, the opulent, father of Philip IV, the insane."
The insane.
As you look up, you notice something about the statue. There are some odd indentations on the king's chestpiece.
What do I see?
Something with great kinetic energy seems to have impacted the cuirass, around where the heart is. A bullet?
Lieutenant, has someone shot the king?
Okay, I can't see it, but I take your word for it.
What do you think?
Well, Martinez is riddled with bullet holes. This place saw a lot of action during the revolution. But the statue is recently renovated, so maybe a joke? Target practice or a political statement?
Maybe it's connected to the murder. Not to spoil anything, but it actually might be, now that I think about it. That's actually crazy. Yes, a practical joke.
Why not? What this shows us is guns aren't too uncommon here, and people still shoot them, sometimes at kings.
The king stands high above you, surveying the bay, mute and indifferent to your sightings.
I kind of have, like, more important things to do than, like, reflect on this statue. It might have failed and wouldn't have been a big deal, but I don't know, I got things to do. It's the first day, it's very crucial to getting a good run. Hey, white tank top. I got a white tank top. +1 physical instrument. Gee, that could have helped earlier. Conceptualization, -1 suggestion. Oh wow, I had -1 suggestion that whole time. Yeah, I'll stick with the other shirt for now, just because it doesn't have any negatives. +1 intellect. Oh, that's right. So cigarettes take your health, but increase your intellect skills. Or something. Or maybe gives you more slots. I think that's what it is. It's like, if you go here, right, I have 1 point in intellect, so everything only has 1 slot. So if I upgraded one, but then failed again and needed to upgrade more, I can't. I'd have to smoke a cigarette to increase the amount. I think that's how it works. I've never fully understood how to not get yourself fucked at a point where you can't move forward without saving and
The
reloading a
small,
bunch.
wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph is clutched in her hands, and there is a warm smile on her face. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter, some cigarettes, and food money.
Maybe she's your
Maybe she's your
grandma?
nothing. Her smile just keeps widening. Her hair is gray like lead. No, this one is a monster in disguise.
Excuse me, ma'am, I'd like to ask you some questions.
No response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her.
Hey,
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
snap your fingers twice.
Where am I? Who are you?
Are you alright, ma'am? I'm the law around
I
here.
don't suppose you could tell me where we are, Lowman. Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s.
When else would you be? Where else would you be?
Back in Mefka, during the time of the revolution. The sidewalks and cafes are filled with young people. I was on my way to see a new Boyadero picture starring Gabriel Buenguerro.
Wingero. Okay.
Until you came along, that is.
Who's Gabriel Bongero?
This is Gabriel Buenguerro.
A strikingly handsome man looks
Strikingly
straight
handsome.
at you, his head crowned with a wide brim hat. His hair is dark as an oil slick, and his jaw the most perfectly chiseled thing you've ever seen.
He was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of cinema whenever he came on the screen. And schoolboys used to memorize all of his lines.
Right. I have some other questions.
Why
for
not,
you.
Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole.
What are you hauling? We'll start.
Diamonds.
We'll ease in instead of jumping right to the drugs. Diamonds, really?
Of course not. But wouldn't it be marvelous if I was?
You got me. Okay, but what are you really hauling?
Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine.
So you don't know what you're hauling.
I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the cargo, if you know what I mean.
I don't know what
She
you
says that as if something narcotic is the real reason.
You get high off driving a lorry?
Oh, it's so much more than a high where I go, Harife. It's low. I go to the bottom.
What?
Yeah, it's definitely some kick.
Where's that
Some
little shit
terrible
Kuno?
kick
We
in
can
the
go
car.
check on him
A
after
sneak
this.
kick. Perhaps you can find out later.
Okay. Sure.
Of course it does. What did you expect?
Do you know anything about drugs?
What do I need drugs for, Lowman? What I see, what I feel.
Where can I get
The
my
great
hands
adversary.
on an
Not
experience
drugs
like
can
that?
compare. If you don't know,
I wanted to ask you if you'd be interested in smuggling some drugs.
why would I want to do that?
The thrill of the criminal lifestyle?
Lowman, what in the name of God are you talking about?
Okay, let me put this another way. Are you smuggling drugs through this here right now, Terminal B?
Maybe. Probably not. Makes no difference to me either way.
Okay.
Just this month, I made half a dozen trips from Saramiriza to Grad. The U41A. What do you think they take from Saramiriza to Grad, Loman?
Drugs?
No, Loman. Diamonds.
Damn this. Make her answer.
Are you making fun of me right now? If you had to guess, who do you think is smuggling drugs around here?
Easy. He's the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet. Also, he's the only one I can see from here.
Okay. Okay.
Where do you want
whatever.
me to go? This isn't so bad. I can listen to music, or the seagulls. Look at all the colors and the beauties of this world. It's a good palate cleanser, this jamboree. Or I can just relax and let my mind carry me back where it will, to the Great Plains.
I think we're done here, no?
All right.
Yes, go. Enough jamboree. I need to get back to Mesquite.
All right, let's go check on Kuno. You gotta go around this way. Kim, where are we going? What's happening? There we go, okay. Alright. Oh, Kuno. Kuno.
Can't you see I'm throwing rocks?
Alright. Kim, what should we do?
We shouldn't do anything. I don't tempt such forces.
What force?
You will see.
Are you kids siblings?
The fuck are you talking about?
He's calling us Kuno. He says we're fucking each other.
Okay. I have some
All right,
questions.
entertain the cool.
The kid moves his hands like a basketball player dribbling fast.
I found I found your shack, Kuno.
You found Kuno's secret door to Kuno's secret shack. It was closed for 5,000 years. How the fuck did you get in?
I pushed the panels aside, Kuno.
And then what? You fucking there. You fucking Kuno's kingdom.
He's trying to fuck at you again, Kuno.
Okay. Let's start with the magnesium.
It's a vitamin, pig. Don't you know anything?
You could use some.
It's magnesium, right?
Yeah, it's the mag. You fucking need that shit to stay on top of your game. Kuno goes through like a tube a day, rips mag like a motherfucker, and you could use a battle.
Oh, don't teach him, Kuno. He's gonna use it against you, Kuno.
I know all about magnesium. I rock it all the time.
You're not getting this, pig. It completely takes away the hangover. It's like you didn't do anything. Like you stayed home playing with your choo-choo.
Fuck you, pig. Don't do mag. You're gonna OD and you're gonna fucking die.
Alright, how about the plate with the powder?
That's where Kuno gets his daily hit of electric. Kuno Shazam. Kuno rides the fucking lightning in there, pig.
Honestly, if he's doing speed just once a day, that's an extremely responsible drug use. That's an unbelievably mature handling of a stimulant. Like, you would one a day? You go in there once a day and rip one line and then just, you're good? Like, crazy.
Bet you'd like to ride the lightning too, wouldn't you? You feel tired and old, but you could have that sparkle in your eyes.
Yeah. What was with the pig head?
Oh, that? Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape.
What a weird thing to say. I got one too. It's shit. It's like some kind of musician?
Yeah, Kuno plays on snuff radio, fucks pigs,
Snuff
lies,
radio.
fucks their heads off. Kuno's a cop killer.
Okay. I'm not gonna ask about the coat. I guess I'll reaffirm
Course
the
you
entrance to
fucking
the
can.
harbor.
How do you think Kuno made all the docky boys his gimps? Just gotta fly, pig.
It's that easy.
Not for you, pig. Kuno can't wait to see you get all scared and shit your pants.
Kuno can't wait to see you shit your fat pants.
That's all there is to it then. Don't be a pansy. Just jump.
I've heard
Call,
enough of this.
Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom. Kuno.
Good to see you, Kuno. It's always great checking in.
Hear that?
What is this?
Magnesium. That's what you're lacking. The lack of magnesium has you slouched. The magnesium levels in your blood are dangerously low. It's about the low magnesium levels and not the high alcohol levels.
Fucking knew it wasn't the alcohol or the other things.
Yeah, the other things. Long live the other things. Made you strong as an ox, they have.
So there's a lack of magnesium in
Yes, and it's critical. Look at yourself. You're practically devolving into a fish due to the lack of magnesium in your bloodstream.
I need to mag it
You
up.
need to get so magged up. You've probably had 2 heart attacks and a minor stroke already. And the only prescription is insane amounts of magnesium.
You're saying I need to become a magnesium-based life form.
Yes, if you want to live, you need to evolve. You need to transcend
True.
the carbon barrier. Go to the apothecary and buy insane amounts of magnesium. It will reverse the damage to your circulatory system. Just remember, it's not the alcohol. Buy more of that too. Alcohol is not the problem. And it's certainly not the dextroamphetamine, nor smoking for 40 years. It's the lack of magnesium and excess of coffee. You should stop drinking coffee. It wreaks havoc on your gastrointestinal system.
Yeah, you know, you're right. Alright. I want to do a little more investigating out in the drug ring. It says grit. Like, okay, thanks. Where are you going, Harry? Ooh, coins. Alright, fuck it. Let's try and jump into the harbor. Some fucking mag? Well, I'm gonna keep smoking and drinking coffee. Fuck that. Yeah, you know. It's all about what you believe. Shit. I don't know if I was supposed to go. Yeah. Okay. Oh, damn it. Where do you get the bag to pick up bottles? That's a helpful item. All right, we're gonna go for this
A
jump.
tarpaulin cloak with possible RCM markings is still caught on the railing.
But first, let me grab my bong. Real quick, like. I got that. I was gonna grab my elf bar too. I don't know where that went. Man, I don't know where my elk bar is. I got a cool new fancy one too. Alright. Let's make this jump. Okay. Think we're gonna make it? You think we're gonna make it? Yes!
As you leap in the air, a chilly breeze engulfs you, sharpening your senses.
Close your eyes, let your senses take in the world
Ankles
around you.
tingling from the tension, blood
Healed
roaring
morale,
in your
nice.
ears. You are ready for your rendezvous with the concrete pavement below.
Goddamn right. Let's do it.
Martinez goes about its daily routine as you soar through the air. The loud voices of protesters mix with the engine sounds from the traffic jam. Waves crash against the pier, and dense, salty sea air fills your lungs.
Don't let go
The
of the
corpse
moment
is
yet.
dominating the yard, and the stench is nauseating. Even so far from the epicenter, it brings tears to your eyes.
Continue the voyage.
As
Boom!
the concrete floor
Stuck the
welcomes
landing.
you realize it's been a while since you felt so alive. Alert, capable. Must be the adrenaline.
Fucking
I knew
right.
you could do it. My climbing down might not have been as disco as your jump, but at least we can explore the harbor now.
Fuck
With your
yeah,
feet
Kim.
firmly planted on the concrete, the noise of the harbor rushes back in.
Grab my jacket. Goddamn right. And that gives me 1 spirit decor. And +1 shivers. Not bad. What do I have right now? +1 suggestion, -1 half-light. Alright, I mean, I'd rather not lose any points. Suggestion, conception. Alright. Just look at him. Just tank top, big old duster, dish gloves, beanie. Just unbelievable. Orange bum hat. Alright. Collecting rainwater.
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud.
René
Listen,
Arnaud.
it's okay to take a few minutes to yourself. Sit down and have a breather.
Kim, I'm gonna take a quick look inside.
If you must. But please hurry. We are pretty easy to spot up here.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents meticulously organized. There's a framed photograph on the table. It's a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair. The man is young, dark-skinned, and dressed in a Royal Carabinieri uniform. The girl is smiling playfully at the camera.
Why did you take that?
I'm making an artistic photo collage, Kim. I think this could be like a side thing. This
Fine.
is like a side mission.
But let's move. I don't want to be seen snooping around here.
Alright, let's go. This Kim's so scared. Backs where the cigarette butts.
Snow is quietly covering the numerous wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Someone partied really, really hard here.
Wait. How
Well,
hard?
They went through 6 bottles of potent Pilsner, 3 bottles of Commodore Red, and almost 4 packs of cigarettes. It must have been pretty hard.
Did I do
Well,
this?
yes, I think we can say with relative confidence that it was you.
I'm still not completely convinced it was me.
I am, but it doesn't matter right now. Let's just move on.
Alright. Great machines and reasons. Devices. White pine trees. I don't need that pussy measurehead to let me in. I'd have kicked his ass if I tried again. You know that. Right, Kim? You know, if I felt like going back and doing it, I could kick his ass. But I just jumped it. Right. Kowalston. Alright. Bond tricking. Always forget to hold down the button so you can see all the stuff on the ground. Alright, looks like we're heading towards Everard, so get ready. Ooh. Ultra Series gloves. Where are they? +1 half-light, unfiltered contact. Nice. Interfacing. I mean, I don't think interfacing will come up talking to him. I feel like, I don't know if conceptualization will, but I have -2 savoir-faire. Why is that? My pants. Hey. Now I only got -1, so maybe not the bum hat. Damn it. I like how the first time I just knew, like, what button. I can't do it now. What fucking button did I use to unequip stuff? Oh, just, okay. +1, +1. Shoes. Do you think this is gonna help? Or not? Probably doesn't really matter. Let's do it. Let's go no pants. I feel like that'll make a statement for Everard. I'm not gonna waste my time with that little guy. At least not right now. God damn it. Go in. You ready, Kim?
Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you.
Let's get straight to business. I'm not wearing pants right now. I'm in my underwear, standing in front of him. Let's get straight to business. There's a dead body.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat. I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Okay. I know he won't talk to you. Like, if you...
Please, Mr.
I'd
Dubois,
rather stay.
let us converse in a civilized manner, as equals.
Yeah, see.
Take a seat. I insist.
Yeah,
Excellent,
I know
Mr. Dubois. I can see that you are a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
He gives you a sly wink, like, okay, I'll remain serious while I'm
how
not
can the
wearing
head of the
pants.
Debarders Union help a
I'm here for a
representative of the
serious
Revachol Citizens
interview.
Militia today?
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Give me 1 sec to let the cat out. All right.
By the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart.
I did.
Some people have no manners, it pains me to say.
He
This
is an
should take
asshole.
care of that nonsense.
It's absolutely comically
It should be
huge.
sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good.
25 real.
You need it.
I don't get out of bed for 25 real. You can take that comically large check and shove it up your ass. I'm gonna talk about Guard a little.
Yes,
I'm gonna gossip
I know
you.
Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is. Okay, okay. I respect a man with principles. No handouts, then. Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost gun.
I literally just let this cat out. What do you want? Would have thought. She knows the fireworks are starting. All right.
The world is swallowed by a black hole
my
of
morale.
fear. Only 2 words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun.
Just play it cool, you know. I would appreciate any help.
Are
could
you all
provide.
right, Harry? You seem anxious. Don't be. Everything's going to be all right. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded.
Composure. Do I have anything for composure? Are you allowed to just switch your clothes? No, you're not. Okay. Should I turn to Kim or... There we go. I'm just gonna try to not panic. I don't know. Maybe turning to Kim would help? Let's
Officer,
see.
we will deal with this later.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Okay, that didn't do anything. Here we go. Don't panic.
God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun and those children are gonna shoot themselves with it.
Alright, well, the one says try to stay cool, which is what I want to do. But the other one is like, you know, reasonable. Try to stay cool. No, I'm not about to
Mr.
cry.
Dubois, you don't look so good.
What is this,
God.
Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What is he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck down. Chill.
I just like snorted some shit.
Mr.
like,
Dubois!
okay.
Mr. Dubois! Harry!
Let your mind go to a safe
Mr. Dubois,
place.
are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something?
Remember, I'm
Are you
still
having
not
some
wearing
kind of
pants
medical
for any of this.
emergency?
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
You're Mr. Dubois. Oh yeah, man, I'm fucking great. Keep sliding. Actually, this chair is uncomfortable. I could use that glass of water. Just, you know, play it cool. When in doubt, we're gonna play it
Don't
cool.
be dramatic. I can see your condition isn't terminal.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time. And I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police officer questions.
Okay. I guess talk about the hanging.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to discuss it with you. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me.
I sense there's the
But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Okay.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines, incredibly talented at opening doors.
Kim, is that true? Are we door opening machines?
I'm not sure I understand. If you're asking us to break down someone's door, it's not going to happen.
Come now. I just need you to go open a little door for me and leave it unlocked. A simple thing. Absolutely nothing shady about it.
Does this jiggling ooze think he's going to use you? He's got another thing coming. Play his game, son, with your eyes peeled. He's going to slip up, and when he does, you're going to come out on top.
Okay. Just immediately. We'll just start at the top here. Why don't you just open it yourself?
Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. You
Okay.
look like you could run
That does
around all
make
day.
sense. This guy.
You want to send someone
lives
a
in a
message
storage
that the
container.
police are working for you.
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. So what will it be, Harry?
Whose doors?
Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there.
A
Nothing for you
weasel.
to worry about.
What do you mean by we?
A loud, blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly. Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you.
I mean, he clearly does know things about the hanging. He's their fucking boss. Refuse the task for now. What does that mean?
Of
I'm gonna
course,
refuse it
Harry,
for now.
I understand. But if that's the case, I don't think we'll ever find your gun. Even worse, we won't be able to speak like equals about the murder. Perhaps this was just bad timing for you. Know that you can always come back to me. I really hope you do. For your sake, my sake, and for your gun's sake too.
Yes, we both understand what you meant.
This may be the only way, he thinks. I won't hold it against you. In fact, we probably should reconsider later.
Yeah, it's like, just know, like, you have to do this. Okay, I guess... Is he just gonna constantly tell me I have to go open this door? Alright, let's... it seems like dumb to ask him for help right after that, but... Let's talk about the local
What?
drug trade.
Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any jolly fat guy, but I can't
Any
take
jolly
slander.
fat guy.
Are you actually investigating this? You've
I
hurt
am.
me, Harry. Me, a friend. But you know what?
I'm coming in hard on Everard.
And gets over it in 2 seconds. Seems like it didn't really hurt him.
I trust you, like I trust all my friends. And I know you'll never talk to me about this again, because you don't want to wound me. So do what you want, and let's change the subject.
Thank you for your understanding. We will continue to do.
Okay, so they definitely are selling drugs.
You too, Lieutenant. You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry.
Weird thing to say.
None taken. Did we have anything else to do here, Harry?
Harry. I don't want to, you know, let him know that I don't know my own fucking name. Oh, I have to scroll down the stick. I'm trying to, you know, keep my cards close. Help me get a dead body.
You might have noticed there's one hanging on a tree behind the hostel cafeteria.
Oh my. Don't take this question personally, but why would I get involved in this matter?
You already said
Mr.
it's
Clare,
related
the
to the
man was
strike.
hanged with a cargo belt. A steel-reinforced cargo belt. It's safe to assume the Union had something to do with the murder.
Exactly. It couldn't have said it better,
Besides,
Tim.
getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood.
Yeah, the belt.
I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values.
Files.
But of course, all joking aside, I am going to help you. Jean-Luc, my
Okay.
boy, I'm sending 2 police officers down. They have a dead body in a tree problem they need help with. Namely, they need it to be taken down. And Jean, please take it easy with the race signs. That's a yes to getting the body down, no to the race signs. You can find Jean-Luc down at the gates. He's the big, impressive one. You know, tattoos, muscles,
Okay.
ethnic looking. Can't miss him. Great guy.
I guess we can... This question seems harmless.
Harry, honestly, I'm just relieved you didn't get a hernia. A man your age.
A man my age? What are you implying? I'm at the peak of my abilities. I'm gonna break down any minute now. I too am surprised by the resilience and athleticism of this tool I've been provided with.
Yes, yes, Harry. You are obviously in peak physical condition, and I salute both your initiative and your physical prowess. Very impressive, Harry. Very impressive. Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it.
Okay. He could talk shit about Joyce. I don't really see how that would help right now. Unless he has some kind of dirt I can use on her.
Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here.
Just pals?
We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez here. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you get that nasty body down from the tree. I'm not a jealous guy.
Why haven't you let her in to see?
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator.
It's a fortress. He knows she can't get in here.
Okay. What happened to the previous negotiator, Mr. Gelman?
What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go.
He made concessions for the company in previous negotiations. Why would you let an ally like that go?
He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left.
Not gonna read that
Harry,
one, but I am gonna
I
say
have
it.
little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals.
It's hard to say if he
right.
really lost his temper, or if this is another one of his tricks. This man almost never angers visibly.
Joyce said he disappeared under suspicious
Vanished?
circumstances.
Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. When she got back, the whole thing was over.
I don't really care about this lowballing thing, but I'll ask him.
Yes, yes. Low balling, of course. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here. But everything's a casino for those rich types.
His expression makes it clear. This is childish and irresponsible behavior.
Okay.
Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organization. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Everard doesn't mind.
This is weird. Not nice weird, but okay.
Yeah, I picked up on that. Yeah.
Wait.
The rest we'll talk
You
about
need
some-
this to get in and out through the gate. Here,
Thanks.
you're one of us now. A real red and white union man. Take care, Harry.
A union man. Alright, well, that didn't go terrible. I think it's almost impossible to not almost break down on the chair, but I think we're good. I want to go talk to Measurehead and get that body down. That's my whole thing right now. Okay, I want those coins. I skipped out on his check. I don't got money, dude. Come on. Okay. Now. How the fuck do I get out of here? What's that? Ooh, nose a bed. I'm not gonna play with that switch right now, because I know it's a whole rabbit hole. Alright. left me.
On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers.
It's unfortunate for the Union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this.
The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders. Hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, from Muindi, Grad, and even Ilmara. And the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol, Kuron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed among the many districts where the imports are being sold. It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry.
Man, I should be able to fucking
The
find
drawer
those.
slides shut smoothly.
Yeah, okay. I don't even think I have anything for Volition. I just wanted to check. Another cat. No. I don't know if the third one's in, so hopefully he is. Alright, I got nothing to help with that, so
The
might as
file
well
cabinet
just do it.
stands steady as ever, and the unlocked drawer slides
Alright.
out to greet you.
Give me something good.
Look how blurry all the lines on these papers are. How unwieldy your own willpower is to yourself. You're like an absurdist Samaran monk, focusing through not focusing.
If I let my eyes go completely out of focus, all the shapes start melting into each
Is
other.
that what you're doing with those folders over there?
No, of course
Good.
not.
This is probably not relevant to our case anyway. After all, we are not investigating an accounting mystery.
Son
The
of a
drawer
bitch.
slides.
I'm not gonna use a skill point on that. Alright, then. Hippos guard. Member of the board. The office shades. Visual calculus. Nice. -1 drama. Alright, you fucker. Who's in charge now, huh? Who got a call from their boss, huh?
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
Yeah.
So it was. You surmounted the harbor wall in a display of athletic prowess to reach my superior. Then had him give me an order. I salute your cunning, and I will remove the body from the tree with my bare hands.
You're so noble, Measurehead.
But while I am gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you. Both of you.
Okay.
Babe, see that they stay here the whole time.
The woman's gaze follows Measurehead as he leaves.
So So, you guys are like cops or something?
Yeah, we're the law around here.
Cool. I like men with guns and power. I'm Katya, by the way.
You hear that? That sound. He's breaking something.
Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish I could see it.
I also
Look at you! RCM rent-a-cops! Guarding that bridge like Everott's lapdogs! Is this where it's at now? The RCM is for sale!
And who are you? What is your business here? Why are your clothes 4 sizes too small for you?
It's none of your business, bitch.
A shrill laughter interrupts you, echoing across Martinez.
It's Kuno.
It's Kuno. Then the man turns to look behind him at the behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching him, walking past him.
The corpse has been removed from the tree. Stand down and congratulate yourself. You have sided with Ray's victory today.
Okay, yeah.
Farewell, ham sandwich. You are a Union man from now on.
Okay. We got the body down, Kim. On day 1, Kim. How you like that? No, no. God damn it, I knew that cat would come. Focus on the case. We're gonna bust this shit wide open. I'm about 4 hours from solving this case. Game hours.
The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch. It's gently laid on one side.
Celebrating a more reserved man.
Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is ready for a field autopsy.
A field autopsy?
Yes. 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. 4. Transportation of the body to the morgue. We are on number 3.
Okay.
The fuck are they on about?
Cop's gonna cut his shit up!
Don't we have someone else to cut his shit open?
It's not about cutting. And no, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain, from autopsy to cleanup to social work.
Yes, I feel like
You
a
are.
detective.
Your station would not have assigned you on this case if you weren't. Now,
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Tell me something, dead man.
Shoot, Looney Rooney.
Yes. My elf boy's right over here, I think. Boom. Nice. Look at this motherfucker. Just real quick. Real quick. Look at this fancy elf bar. Okay. I'm looking at the Twitch, so like it's delayed. Let me. There we go. Look at it. It's like see-through plastic with like this green plastic on the end. Trying to get it to focus on it. It's Hawaiian Punch. It's got like a flat little nozzle thing. It's pretty cool. And they said it has like 1,000 more puffs or something, but who knows? I don't count them. Let's see. Oh, I already... This is when you talk to the body.
Come back later, Corporal. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible.
Come on,
Shut
officer.
up.
You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
Oh, I'm wearing the wrong gloves.
I hope we do. It's getting really late for an autopsy.
Sorry, Kim. I need my my working clothes. Alright, +1 interface. That's -1. Reaction speed might help. I think all the yellow stuff is what'll help here. Composure. But then it lowers... I don't know how to pronounce that. Let's hope that doesn't come up. Visual calculus. Alright, that's probably the best possible outfit. That's only electrochemistry. That's not gonna help. Okay. Only got
Rotting
one
man,
shot.
the lieutenant adjusts
One
his glasses
opportunity.
and takes a...
Come on,
Sees
officer.
everything we ever
You know
wanted.
what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
Let's get in
There
there.
truly is a time for everything, even for yellow gardening gloves. However, they are lacking hygienically. I suggest you get in there in limited capacity.
I don't know. What do you mean?
I'll ask you when I need you to. For the most part, maybe I should handle the contact and you take notes?
Okay, where should I take these
In your
notes?
paperwork, officer. Just fill out the field autopsy form.
You're not gonna believe this. I think I've lost my paperwork.
Now they only have one paperwork, too.
Officer, what haven't you lost?
My shoes. I found the other one. None of your business, Kim. Lay off my case.
Good. Otherwise, you would only have one shoe now. I can give you my paperwork. There's an autopsy form there. Several, actually, but only if it helps move things along.
I feel like I know where it is. I feel like it's in the trash. And we got a little bit of time, you know, I think. What is 15? That's 1, 13, 14, 15. That's 3 o'clock. We got a little bit of time.
As the words leave your mouth,
If we must, then we must. Police paperwork, we should find it before someone else does. Then hurry back to the...
Okay. Alright, I think it's in the trash can. We already tried. It wouldn't let me.
this trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says,
Physical instrument. You think I should use my skill point on physical instrument? I have that shirt for physical instrument, right? Yeah. Or I could go talk. I'm gonna try to just go talk to guard. As much as I hate him, I think he'll just give me the key without much hassle. Although I did run out. I'm paying for my room. We ought to count them one day, see how much it takes till we get sick. The elf bar pups. Yeah, that would actually be good. We should do a stream of that.
Real mature, man.
Count
what
out, see if it's
exactly were
really
you trying to
5,000.
accomplish? You do understand you still owe me money, right?
damn, your feet
Yes.
thought we got away.
You have to understand. I was.
You know
just-
what?
The stupid drinks you've had are on the house. You know why? Because I know you can't pay for them. Not because you ran away. Now, I still have to charge you for 3 nights and the broken window. That's 100 square.
So we're cool?
Not entirely cool. You still owe me 100 real. If you don't have it by tonight, I can't let you back up there. Now, what the hell did you want? I assume you wanted something to come back here.
Yeah, it's about the trash
Mine?
container. All
No,
right.
it belongs to the whirling in rags.
I don't know if you can hear the tapping. That's just, you know, a little something my cat picked up, and it's annoying, and I have to deal with this. You're not going out. Go out there. Just being annoying. All right.
Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep the container locked?
Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out. That's why. And the neighbors, too. They put their trash there, and they don't pay for the garbage company.
I thought as much. And are you the only party with access to the trash container?
Well, yes. Us and the garbage disposal company.
We need those keys.
What do you need them for?
It concerns the
What do you
case.
think?
Please cooperate.
Get in the trash.
Just bring them back once you're done, please.
Boom.
By the way, where is home? The address is coming up blank, and this place sure isn't it.
I have no
But
idea.
you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Where were you before? You had to be somewhere.
Up on Marvel
Why did you
Hill.
say that?
These are just synapses firing. It doesn't mean anything. Kim, you know a place called Marvel
No.
Hill?
But isn't that an expression, not a place?
An
A saying. Up on Marvel Hill, a great high place. One that is impossible to climb back to.
That doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money.
Should we do Hobo Cop? Yeah, we're gonna do real anti-communist Hobo Cop, who's a dumb, non-emotional, physical guy.
Entertain the thought when you get the time. Maybe being a hobo and a cop has its advantages.
Maybe it does. Speaking of, we probably have other thoughts we should work on, yeah. Magnesium-based life form. I mean, that probably goes well with Hobo Cop. Oh, I was like, I could barely tell that they were, like, available. For a second, I was like, are these not available? This 15th Indo tribe. Wild Pines Field Caprice. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, Monopoly Switch. I don't really know what that means, so go with magnesium-based life form and Hobo Cop. Hoboken Hobo Cop. Alright. Boy, I hope my papers are in here and I'm not just remembering that
This
wrong.
trash container with a well-oiled crack. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't. Of course you should. This is your time to shine, Hobo Cop. Dive into that dumpster for extra content. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
Dig in Hobo Cop style.
Wow, an Armistice caliber 50 knock cannon, half wrapped in paper tissues. So
What is a
shiny.
knock cannon?
It's a giant rifle, and it's very expensive. Not as expensive as that fat string of pearls snaking around the rotten banana peels, however. And is that Cordon Electric's preamp with Electra F2 tubes? It is. That catches quite a price. We're talking 12,000. Easy. Unless you're into hi-fi yourself.
I am into hi-fi.
That's too bad, because none of those things are actually in there. There's just food waste and crisp wrappings.
Oh, a cruel jest. There must be something.
All you see is a broken mug with a racist depiction of the Yellow Man frolicking in saffron. Only
Antique?
in its social sensibility.
You don't have any other option. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Take the mug. Chill out, kid.
You see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. Some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages somehow feels familiar. You've done this before. The movements are recorded in your elbows, the methodology in your fingers. You're used to this.
Used to what? Dumpster
No,
diving?
searching for evidence in the trash. Good practice for dumpster diving. A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below, and turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however. Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers. As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air.
The victim's clothes? Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay. Drop them in here, officer. Guitar marked blue
Bag 'em.
jeans. Pockets empty. Or empty. He wore them with a belt, too. A white belt. The loops appear stretched, but the belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here.
Something slimy catches your eye. A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. Anything more?
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. Just garbage.
That's
All right.
all.
We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning
Fuck,
the
I
yard.
thought my fucking papers
Or
were in there.
that one. I'd advise against confronting that force.
Yeah, me and
Not
Guard are
really.
cool now.
All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash. The lid was locked, and his establishment had the key. It's just a small loose thread.
The lieutenant nods. Then, it's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple and potato peels, mostly. Unidentified sludge, and the occasional chicken bone thrown in for good measure. But hey, nothing. It's nothing. Nothing more to see here. What's this?
What?
A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's
Oh.
shiny. Looks like the corner of something. Something larger. A clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes. Written in a man's handwriting.
Looks like we found your paperwork.
Fuck yeah. I don't know what this is.
It is. Look, the plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form in there. If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash?
For the great bloodletting to begin. I guess that makes the most sense, I guess. Other than me doing it. Must have been cramping my style.
Officer, this is an official piece of paperwork. It probably contains notes on numerous ongoing investigations, and could even list undercover operatives, informants. I suggest integrating it into your style, for all our sakes.
Easier said than done. How could this pathetic cabbage of copy paper and plastic ever become très disco?
Très disco. Okay.
It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see. Or are we finished?
Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable. Go to your inventory and select the Interact tab to read your paperwork.
I guess that's
The
everything.
container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
Open the lid again. Just want to take another
As you
look.
turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint.
Cool.
So cool.
Where's it coming from?
From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights, and they solve shit.
Yeah, that's me. I've been establishing my superstardom hard lately.
Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop. Dick Mullen. Salam Rocky Bayi. Badass on-the-edge disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go. Camera. Lights.
Action.
With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you, and you along with it. In an iconic monochrome solution, a black silhouette against a rasterized orange world. It's on.
He said, let's get it on. Nope, not Kim. Alright, Gart, we got you fucking red-handed.
Can I help you? Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for.
I found the victim's clothes, actually.
How strange. I certainly didn't put them there.
Maybe you were sleepwalking or in a fugue state. Who else has keys to the trash
The
container?
trash collection service? CS Municipal. I don't see why they would put anything in the trash, though.
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threats that solves itself down the road.
On Clinton Street, near the Boogie Street Diamond, a small truck rattles down an alleyway. It stops by a rusted trash container. Two men, their faces rough and swollen, jump out. They look at the container despondently. CSM is written on their backs.
Thank you anyway.
Someone on your staff have put them there?
Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my staff. None of us would tamper with the crime scene. Yes?
Alright. Goodbye. Okay. So we have to investigate the body. We found my paperwork. Maybe, I don't know if we should interact with that right now. Okay, items. I'll interact.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Anything else?
There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you. Below the pathetics, terror. Do not look into its blue heart.
I just want to know case-related things.
They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol and covered in dense blue hand. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
What are
Work,
they about?
strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases undertaken, not completed, mind you. What do you mean? Is that all?
That's it.
The notebook is annual. It says 51 on what remains of its cover. A molten strap of cardboard. Everything prior to this must have belonged to a previous volume. In short, there was more. Judging by the creases on your forehead and the lines on your cheeks, too much more. Going back years, decades even.
There was a mention of a naming convention here?
Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name.
Okay, they're written in capital letters.
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case.
More?
Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. You like this grimy murdering, don't you? It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
Kim, my cases appear to employ some kind of naming convention.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene?
No, I mean a non-numeric one, with titles.
Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does.
Why is that?
It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
Seems you have named a case the Square Bullet Hole Murders.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself. I pray his loved ones never find out.
What happened?
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
All right.
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish. The ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It will do, barely. But
Kim, do you have a pen?
the lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. 2 fat, shiny pens hang from the binder, like large-caliber bullets on an ammo belt. He is not really saying anything, just standing there, looking at them.
Can I have one?
Know that I give this to you with resentment.
The tasks you've completed flow out of the blue oblong pen in a brash freehand uncannily similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple, a language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body. Get the body down. Interview the cafeteria manager. A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. And a fuck you to you too. That last one cuts a slash right through the paper. You're a swashbuckler with that pen, Harry, and it feels good. Feels like completion. Things to
Fuck
be
yeah,
done
I'm feeling
and
good.
things
I'm
already
killing this
done.
case.
The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our case?
No, actually. Any ideas?
The Furies are at home in the mirror. The setting sun. Shit on a stick. I like the setting sun.
Okay. It's a good name, but it has one problem. This case has nothing to do with the setting sun. At all. It has nothing to do with that, so something more concrete, perhaps? Do you have something concrete? Mundane, usual?
Usual is boring. We don't do that.
Shit on a stick.
Ah, yes. I have to tell you, officer, I don't appreciate ironic titles. Other officers will have to use this as reference. If it's idiot or cockfinger, they're not going to get it. They're going to think an idiot and a cockfinger were on this case. So, do you have something less funny?
Fine, we'll do the Hanged Man.
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now.
He was really stoked on that.
I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
Cool, great.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Guess I'll browse the yellow
In the
papers.
back, you see thin, translucent copy of paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out. 3. The topmost are misconduct fines, the middle ones are station calls, and the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of.
Field autopsy.
A dozen
that's what we're
pages of
doing.
thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form, waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs, color of the irises, predation marks, condition of sexual organs.
Kim, look. Field autopsy.
Good, yes. We can return to the dead body. By now, it smells exquisite.
The rest
don't
of
need
the
that other
stinking
shit.
cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the
Logic.
paperwork must have spared the fragile copy of paper.
Do I have anything for logic? Nope. Try it. What's that? Oh, the pen, right?
It's the legend. Oh, and the cool piece of toilet paper is
All right.
stuck to the back.
Here we go.
It's proving to be harder than
Fuck.
expected. You just don't have the intellectual rigor to patch the quilt back together. Try again later.
That's not what that says. Okay. Good logic. Alright. Now I have my papers. I think we are ready to examine the body.
The rotting man lies on his side with his eyes looking straight through you. His body is supine and open to intrusion by autopsy. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Okay. Open your ledger at
The dead
field
man
office.
stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with
1. Assistant.
That's you.
Only the first question, I already don't know the answer. I think
Just
we've
leave it
established
empty.
I'm Harry
The
Dubois.
corpse
I
lies
don't know
there,
why
indifferent to your retrograde amnesia.
I mean,
The next box says,
coroner's case number.
KK57 dash. Next.
Yeah, okay.
NA.
Name.
NA.
Date of birth. Age.
Roughly 50.
the corpse looks ageless, like meat on a hook.
Race.
Mondial.
The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other.
Sex.
Fucky, fucky!
Jesus Christ.
Male.
Pigs can have sex.
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face.
The date of death.
We're still going with March 4th, 51.
What's today? Is that... No, that's my money, 7/16. I don't know what today is.
What else?
All right.
9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same as the coroner's case.
KK57 0503 0815 listens motionless, with the cargo belt still around his neck. Only one
Evidence of
box
treatment.
remains.
None. At least not after the initial examination.
What is treatment anyway?
Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem.
I'm not so sure about that,
A
Kim.
silent nod. The lieutenant places his gloved hand on the corpse's chest, as if in preparation. Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from pre-DeLorean burial rites. It takes him 2 seconds to perform. Then, somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosencrantz Row, Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a monkey. It's raining outside, light drizzle. There is darkness in the shed. Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette bull-like against the window. Outside, Grand Coudon. The day is turning dim for Sergeant Mac Dawson. Hand extended, he approaches, to make sure she is dead more than anything else.
Okay.
The building is tall, 7 stories, wind-wrapped in solitude. Most of the apartments are unoccupied. This was a suicide. The other, an accident. The small one. And so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH, 42 deceased persons found today. 42 stations of breath.
42 deceased persons found
We should
today.
start the post-mortem.
Jesus.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copy paper tries to answer why.
Okay, external examination.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think. Let's see.
See, it's happening.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
The boots are ceramic, vitreous enamel. They are fused to his skin from blood flowing downward post-mortem. Removal of the boots is left for processing.
When am I going?
Patience. After the autopsy, before the body is taken away, there will be a window of opportunity. After the lieutenant has gone to sleep. I
Drama.
hope this has helped you, my liege.
Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo, resembling a map of the night sky. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings, to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene, using a Trigat Mini. The deceased has a cargo lashing belt around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow. Length 3 meters. There is a buckle on the other end. Well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age, about 50. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature, below freezing.
The spine is bent more than the lieutenant compensated for. This buster's actual height is about 1.85. And no, you could not take him straight on.
Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
Touch his hair before
The hair under your latex fingers feels cold to touch, wet.
Stroke his hair gently.
The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown hair start sticking to the latex of the glove, like thread off a rag doll's head. There must be brilliantine in there. He's combed his hair back with oil.
Write it down, adding the...
Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs. Consistent with stones thrown post-mortem. Low velocity.
Fucking low velocity? You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest. Consistent with predation.
Oh,
ligature
what,
mark.
like birds? Okay, you couldn't cut them.
Steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the bell so we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Oh yeah, I'm prepared.
The hanged man lets out a joyous little bubble of rot from his nose.
Good thing we got these chain cutters.
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Carefully, with as much precision as you can.
See, my pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
Yeah, I'm Kuno's pig. I agree. Alright, this is 83%. I'm gonna look for a good spot.
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread rising from the east. The knot is the weak spot. The chain cutters fit in there, steady now, like a flower arranger.
Look at
Two
that.
cuts.
97%. Watch this fail. Alright, here we go.
After some deliberation, you sink the cutters into the knot tying the belt together. You squeeze the rubber handles together, sweat forming on your brow. Snap! The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck.
As it ought to. This is where its grip on the curdled meat is gentlest, pulling up.
Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters. Chest is intact, normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact. Genitalia...
No! It's gonna happen, see!
I fucking knew it!
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
Inspect.
The
Let me
dead
take a
man's
look at
penis
those.
is average-sized, congested from the downward collection of blood.
It's like
the
King
testicles
Larry.
are uneven in length, hanging underneath.
It
The
was redder than
genitalia
hell.
is greenish. Marbling is present around the crotch. You should touch it.
Looks like it's about to pop.
Doesn't feel like anything. A cold spot under your gardening gloves. Unremarkable and unalive.
My pig's so fucking ill right now.
Your pig's pretty sick, I gotta say.
Gotta say.
Back is symmetrical
Alright.
and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are all combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip.
Bullets have bitten little pieces out of him. It must have been excruciating, especially the hip. Before you is a temple of pain that knew little tenderness in life.
In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin.
This is the body of a soldier, a mercenary.
Mm-hmm. We have a real museum here. Of battles, wars. Last item, hands.
Pick up.
His flesh is cold, icy.
Pleased to meet you. Where are you from and what's your name? I'm only fucking with you. I know where you're from. From Cappadocia. And your name is Il Corbo. What can I do you for, Il Corbo de Cappadocia?
Tell me, are you a temple of pain and a stranger to tenderness? We've met before. I've touched your genitals.
That you have, Kobo, that you have. We're real tight that way. In that special way. We should do this more often. Be close like this, I mean.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling.
Were we expecting?
I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, this stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment. Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next?
Internal examination. If I can just leave and come back, I did finish that thought.
Magnesium-based life form. We tell them, hell no. You're about to become a magnesium-based life form. The age of the primitive carbon man is done. No longer must mankind rely on slow-working background radiation to take us further into our genetic destiny. This is the era of guided evolution, and magnesium is the key. You are the first of your species. The next step in human evolution. An advanced magnesium proto-man who mags it up, drinks it down, and sniffs it sideways.
Fuck yeah. +2 volition. -1 logic. No such thing, man. Logic. Nice. Hobo cops still got a lot of time. Damn. Alright, back to it.
The rotting man lies on his side with his eyes looking straight through you. Bits of cargo belt lie on the ground around him. His body is supine and open to intrusion by autopsy.
Alright.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Internal examination.
Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
You don't even have a joke.
Nope.
Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
With his eyes almost closed, The lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it, gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and viscous. You hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh, like the creaking of an old house at night.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable. Respiratory system.
He's really doing it. The dead man's teeth cut into his gloved hands.
Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen. Hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air, unlike anything living. You feel like you're about to throw up again, straight in that mouth of his. No, you don't. You can keep it in. You can keep anything in. You manage to suppress the contractions trying to enter your stomach. All it takes is concentration. Through it, you see nothing but darkness. More meat and darkness.
There are ancient mysteries down there, Hobo. Ask me later.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus.
Okay.
Hepatobiliary. NA.
Why don't we have anything, Kim?
Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
No.
Neither am I. Same for toxicology and serology. NA. Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with the hanging. Gastrointestinal. Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila.
Voilà. With the voila.
What's next on the list?
Description of injuries.
Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too.
Be thorough if you want maximum results.
What about the injuries we have inflicted?
Oh, so we inflicted them?
This is a team effort.
You mean the spin-stabilized munition from a Kill A990 muzzleloader lodged in his lung?
That's right, I shot the body. I totally forgot that happened. I accidentally shot him again in the chest.
That was not a team effort. I just missed my shot. Also, let's not mention it. Muddies the water.
Yeah, so back to the injuries.
Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted. And your opinion, officer?
Wait. The predator. This is about the birds? Non-fatal?
Agreed. Next injury? So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem.
At maximum velocity, fucko!
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath, the description of injury. 2 boxes.
Right.
Non-fatal.
Next.
Ligature
Dark
mark.
red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured. The cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible. Think for a moment. There's time. Don't rush. What was that about no clawing around the neck? You'd be clawing for your life.
Non-fatal.
A column of cold air encircles you, rising slowly upward in the shape of a courtyard, bordered by cracked plaster, windows, seagulls perched on air conditioning units. A small green enclosure in the middle of a corral of tenements, Cape-side apartments, whirling in rags, and the fortress wall of Terminal B. Above it, a thin blanket of coastal stratus clouds. Higher yet, coalition airships guard over the 21 cordons of the zone of control. The air is crisscrossed with radio transmissions. The hair on your neck rises.
Was I right?
You were.
Why do you say that?
Yeah, I'm serious. I don't think this was the injury that killed him.
Okay. Why don't you think it was fatal?
Well, Kim, I arrived at this conclusion through the psychic arts. Yeah, it's the clawing.
Honestly, I'm not sure there weren't marks on his wrists. That part got blurry for me. The stench. But you are right. There should be signs of struggle. Let's leave the cause of death empty for the time being. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over.
How'd it go?
It was an irregular field autopsy. We did not establish cause of death, which is supposed to be the goal of an autopsy. But, personally, I do not see this as a parameter for success.
What else?
We were thorough with the list of injuries, too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy.
Oh yeah, well done, Master Detective. Maybe a drink is in order?
Maybe a drink is in order later.
Now, you see, that worries me. You will die if you drink. You know that, don't you? You are proving a useful detective. The organization would miss you.
Alright, what now?
I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg for processing.
You tilt your head, also looking at the corpse.
Perception. What the fuck? Oh. Yeah, I don't have anything for that.
The man is the lieutenant adjusts his glasses.
Shoot, Looney Rooney.
No, I didn't want to do that.
Come back later, Corporal. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features.
Shut up.
You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso with its swollen organs. Maybe you should be more thorough. His fingernails have turned dark. They're chipped and quite long. There is dirt under them. That's all.
Do you think we missed something?
You can't shake the feeling that there are more secrets concealed in the flesh before you.
Yes, there's something
Okay,
we're not
well,
seeing.
we are in livor mortis here. He is disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body if we want to conduct another examination, and we need to do it fast.
Okay, where do we find a
It would have to
fridge?
be industrial in size. Let's start by asking Gart at the Whirling in Rags and the Fritz store down at the gates. If they don't know, but only if all else fails.
Alright.
Fuck are you looking at, Beano man?
Only if all else fails. This is one task we cannot side.
Obviously, I know what to do. You know, normally, I mean, I try to play it, like, somewhat naturally without just going immediately to where I know the end is, but, I do need a refrigerator. And I know Gart won't help, he's an asshole. Hey, select that door.
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers. Parapsychologically speaking, we're dumb if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
I'll try and play it, you know, I'm a cop. I'm doing my job.
It's not like anyone was killed there. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers.
The curtains do seem frail suddenly, not robust enough to contain a slippery darkness.
Maybe I'll try and reach to her sensibilities here.
You do? My God, even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just step
All right.
away, dear sir.
You can't stop me.
Please just talk to me, officer. Come.
Lies. Rip them open, we say. There is something mysterious about the curtains. Be careful. You see a tattered set of curtains and a polyhedron-shaped cage-like trinket.
Yeah.
You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back,
Obstruction of
covered
justice,
in
man.
dozens of scary little cage-like trinkets, your shadow looming over it like an omen.
I warned you. You're unleashing forces beyond your understanding.
Thank you, ma'am. All right.
A heavy door with a missing handle
masculinity.
stands before you, covered
just
in
threatened.
dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. What if you just break it down?
Okay, not bad. Maybe I should break it down, but not before I strategize.
That's right. Take in your surroundings. You need to have a solid ground and a proper posture if you want to succeed.
All right, check the
Steady
posture.
breathing. Solid core. You've got this. With one shoulder forward, you're ready to smash into the door like a battering ram. The room
Check
is dimly
surroundings.
lit and littered with old barbershop rubbish. But the path to the door is clear.
And what about the door?
It's made of a solid block of wood, but it has stood there for ages. The hinges are old and coated with a carmine layer of rust. It should be doable.
All right, here we go. 72%. Yes. I'm the best cop in the world. Oh.
You smash into the wood and see a small crack appear on the door frame. It's going to take one more try to break through to the other side. But you've done it.
You're not thinking of trying again, are you?
Fuck, it hurts. Freeze, dirtbags. Nice. thought that was super cool. Look, he even has a little talk to me thing.
What is this place?
But my head hurts. My head hurts bad.
We don't have to explore an abandoned gym, you know? Besides, no one's been here in ages. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us. Don't forget to take it out of your bag before we move on.
Some specks of dust shimmer in a faint beam of daylight falling from the window. Other than that, the room is dark. An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
What if there's a reason why no one's been here for ages?
Yes, because it's closed. Now let's move on, shall we?
All right, Kim. Flashlight. Flashlight. Cities, focus. Hey, I got a shot put ball. Worn out wall bars. Smells like leather and sweat. Anything else? Just that? Alright. If I haven't
A
impressed
barbell
Kim enough
lies
today.
on the floor. The color has worn off its weight plates. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights.
Ooh, my
Show the
triceps
world
are
what kind
humming.
of beast it's dealing with. Lift them. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard. Why does it feel so familiar?
Look, Kim, it's a trap. There are no collars on the barbell.
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then.
What kind of a bastard would just remove the collars? Should be a felony.
It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one's supposed to come here anymore.
After saying all that, just look at Kim right in the eye. And fail. Still not wearing pants. Oh, God. Just
You've
barely.
managed to hoist it off the ground, but the barbell feels wobbly and dangerous.
Maybe
Your
these
hands
gloves
slip
just
with sweat.
suck.
Turns out you're no beast, just an old man with bad form.
Proper weightlifting gloves would definitely afford a better grip.
Is this familiar because I'm a weightlifter?
No, it's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber, the squeaky sound of sneakers, your bruised knee against the mat, and a whistle. Then the feeling is gone. A memory from another life, when you were young and fit.
Spooky.
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes, like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age.
Come back to this. Look at that.
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost, and the bear's eyes are glowing red. This ice bear is a hyper carnivore.
Hyper.
Be careful.
What is this thing? It looks like a giant ice
The
bear.
lieutenant doesn't answer. His eyes are glued to the animal. A sharp slice of light shines out from its mysterious belly door. A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun.
Relax,
Of
Kim.
course,
It's a fridge.
just a giant ice bear-shaped fridge. Let's take a look inside.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been
man, I want an
attached
ice
to the
cream
door.
sandwich now.
The
We
fridge
got some
is
upstairs.
huge. You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
Good question.
What's
It looks
this
like an
doing
ice cream
down
fridge.
Somewhere in the past, it's summer. 5-year-old Fifette lets go of her mother's hand, change jingling in her pockets as she hops towards the ice cream stand right across the plaza.
So they tried to sell ice cream from this hyper carnival?
I know. What an unfortunate marketing choice. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
The fridge buzzes with energy. The electricity bill on this thing must be catastrophic.
Well, we got our fridge for our
It's
corpse.
certainly an eccentric choice, but it is big enough. And cold enough too. Shall we go and get the body then? I'll take the head, you take the feet. The stairs won't be easy, but we'll manage.
The two of you, easily.
All right, let's do
The
this.
body is heavy and stinky. It takes half an hour to get it down to the basement. Then 10 more minutes to stuff it into the fridge. The lieutenant takes a step back to admire your handiwork.
Beautiful. A dead body in a nice bare fridge. This is some of the best body's work I've ever done.
You've
Goddamn
definitely earned a drink after this. Perhaps even some pagan rites.
Yes, we need to celebrate by performing pagan rites. Let's bring out the mead and set it on fire.
I knew you would say that. I knew this would lead to drinking. No, no more. This is paganistic enough, and it does not leave this room.
We're artists. We did our best with the means at our disposal.
Did we though? Okay, maybe we did. At least we've stopped the body
killing
from
it, Kim.
decomposing
Don't even
further.
lie.
Now you can conduct another inspection under controlled circumstances.
Inside the icy realm of the ice bear fridge, the corpse stands slumped, waiting.
Okay. 58%. I know we don't have anything for perception.
You touch the dead man's body.
Fuck.
His skin is cold, light blue and silvery in the light of the fridge. You still have no idea where to begin, or what to even do with him.
It'll come to you sooner or later. At least he's safe here until then.
Okay. Nice. We got a fridge. We got the body down.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too
Look,
dark to see
There's
in.
a hole in the wall.
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look?
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away.
Rifles,
Are
Kim.
these any good?
Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest, but one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others.
This one looks
That's
nice.
a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way.
What does this mean? A rifle?
It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future.
Right, yes.
He likes this find.
Where
Seems
are
like
we?
an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache.
Alright. Joseph.
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby. Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr.
Why did you do that?
It's not like it's the red one.
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything. The electric
And then
distribution
unplug
board
the red one.
now has one cable missing.
Nice. All right. +1 drama. Nice. No pants, mesh tank top. Nice. Handwritten note from the fridge. Alright. I think I want to go to this pawn shop next.
G'day to you, officers.
A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife. His eyes are fixed on a man stranded on the other side of the waterlock and on an enormous billboard that has fallen down into the canal between them. His posture is relaxed, despite his powerful build and a knife in his hand. This man resorts to physical intimidation only infrequently, if at all.
You know what caused this wreckage?
I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of daredevil drivers in Revachol.
The words Daredevil Driver sound ominous to you.
Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here, especially a waterlock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then.
Can I have some of that salami?
Sure thing.
It is salty. It is savory. It is chewy. The hangover only makes the salami more tasty.
Want some too, officer?
Why not?
Okay, bye. I just wanted some salami. Fingerless gloves. Fuck yeah. Think you're a hobo cop? I'm a hobo cop. Take a look around. Okay.
Wow, a very large red t-shirt with an impressive print stands out from the other garb.
Oh
Oh yeah, the print depicts a muscled man striding toward you, a giant sword in each hand, encircled by burning embers. Behind him is a cluster of cabins engulfed in flames. Beneath him are the words, Hyomdal burning.
Hyomdal.
2 real.
That's dirt cheap.
But why?
Because I'm a broke cop.
I sympathize, I do. But this is a for-profit enterprise. Welcome to Hyomdal, officer.
Fuck yeah.
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps.
How much for the street light?
700 real. A bargain, I dare say.
A bargain? No, it's not. He's trying to sweet-talk you into buying trash.
There's one like that on every corner.
The light has undergone 3 transformations, and every transformation, large or small, has a price tag.
What do you mean transformations?
Well, there are the cost of removal and rewiring. The most important transformation is the light's placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which has adjusted its morphological field. The light became suitable for use inside the home just a few days ago.
All right. I don't really want this street light.
The boomboxes on the shelf look well-loved and well-traveled. Chipped, dented, they stare at you with the unblinking eyes of their tape reels. One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. A classic boombox that says, Stereo 8 approved. This is you. Golden orange. A sunset suite. Just make sure it works before you buy it.
Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech, found sounds and music from a variety of genres, even though I don't really like music.
Okay.
Is the Harman Welsh
interested.
W2, made in Vespa, designed in Seoul, plays all reel-to-reel formats, 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. It'll set you back 12 real.
Can't afford it.
If you don't mind, please put the flashlight away. Some of us have photonic sensitivities. I do appreciate it.
Just holding a flashlight right in his face.
It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop. What can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
Any trouble lately?
I haven't had any problems myself, though some of my customers have complained about inconsistent law enforcement.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake, people who are terminally bored. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
You should specialize.
It keeps me entertained.
With your business school snobbery.
Entertained? He might be high. If he is, on what?
92%.
Okay, he definitely is high.
92%.
Whatever it is, you've probably done it, and many other things besides. But you can't cut through the jumble of sensations to get to the answer.
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back.
What?
I pawned it.
Sold? The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another, alert.
She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her. Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizens' militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it?
Maybe she's a vigilante. Wants to prove she can do our job better than we can. She must be one of my rabid fans. Yeah, I don't like it
You're
either.
right that she could cast aspersions on the Force. We have to find her.
Any idea where I can find this body?
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope you luck upon her somehow.
Of course. I doubt it. but I can try and answer any questions you may have. I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for business, bad for everyone.
No one likes to see what you have to see every day.
Okay,
The
that's all I got.
pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed.
Well, we got that little lead on our gun. What else is going on?
This Post Lavatorie mail collection, a faint sticker on the side reads, RCM Emergencies Desk number 8102, with a slogan, Mankind, be vigilant.
Good mail delivery box.
The box seems happy. Eat shit pig, fucked by the coon, and St. G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore, and best set mailbox also.
Mail collection box, you should man the
The
fuck
mailbox
up.
does not know how to man up. It is an inanimate object.
Okay. I had an idea for something to do until I ran into that mailbox. Oh yeah, I wanted to go to the free. Look at Kim. Look how he spins. Don't think we don't know how to weed 'em out. Alright. I'm trying to... I want the bag to pick up
The
bottles.
tear machine stands in the
I don't
corner.
remember where you
A
get it.
sign.
Oh, that's the tear machine.
Okay, but what is
It's a machine for tear. You know, you find tear outside, like bottles or whatever, and put it in the machine, then it gives you money. You need a bag, I guess. We used to have some, but we gave them all out, so feel free to use it if you find a bag, though. I'm sure there are some out there, somewhere.
Okay. I mean, I have...
A colourful display.
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health.
Plus physique. I think I already have some cigarettes. Why? Like, it has no difference. It's just $30 instead of $5. I guess if it doesn't really matter,
Here you
I'll
go,
get the cheap
mister.
one. Thanks. Alright. Tulips too. Alright. Where do you think I could find a bag? I don't think it's around here. Hey man, you got a bag?
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind? Huh?
Got any change?
Oh. No, I ain't got any money. They don't want to pay for unfinished work.
They
The
who?
bosses, man.
Okay,
Makes sense.
whatever.
It sucks is what it does.
Okay. Never mind. Thought you'd be helpful. Thought you'd be like, yeah, man, I got a bag. I got bags all over. Does Bob Fosse need another bag?
This
It has
coin-operated
windows.
viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible.
Poor
The
little
metal
viewer.
feels cold and wet under your palm.
Yeah, perhaps I could if
This
I had a
coin-operated
fucking
viewer
bag.
is facing south. The Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
Hey.
Yeah. Why? It's a wall. An ordinary wall.
Why must
God
we
damn
stop
it.
to look at this wall every time we pass by? We have business to attend to.
There's something about it, Kim. There's just something about it. Let me open my door real quick. I don't know if you can hear the fireworks going off. I hope not. I've heard not, but I don't know.
A stone, like any other, lying in a whirl of sleet and mud. Maybe there's something under it. There's a key beneath it, rusty from the dirt.
This must be for the front door. Pity it doesn't have the apartment number on it.
How did I not see that
This
earlier?
building has hundreds of apartments. We'll just have to go in and see.
Alrighty. Flip up glasses. You should leave. Nice. Some coinage.
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number. It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. Better whip out those cutters. You won't get very far otherwise.
Cool knot in hand.
This door has been closed with a padlock. The shackle...
After you, detective.
Boom. We're in. Oh yeah, this is gonna piss my guy off. He hates communists. He's an American. Alright. What do we got? We got that shirt that we bought. +1 logic. Not bad. +1 conceptualization. That's a weird little glitch. Authority's already down one.
A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man. with impressive sideburns. The name on the plinth reads Kraz Marzov.
Kim, who is this Kraz Marzov?
He's known as the father of scientific communism, also known as Masovianism. His theories about economic history greatly influenced, some would even say sparked, the anti-centennial revolution.
But why does this tenant have a bust of Kraz Marzov in their bedroom?
The White Star, the photos on the wall. I think we have broken into the apartment of a young communard. How fitting.
Okay, I guess my guy doesn't really have much to say about that.
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10.
Give me a moment. The cold never does any good for my bronchitis. Go ahead, then. What do you want to know, policeman?
I have a few questions
Ask
about this
away,
apartment.
policeman. People come and go. I don't keep an eye on everyone.
Who lives at apartment 10?
No one lives there. It's been empty for months.
Someone's walking
Impossible.
inside.
I would know if someone had moved in there. Maybe it's those countercultural people again. Breaking into a house like it's a public space. You're a policeman. Be good and take a look, will you? Great.
Okay.
Young people. They're worse than rats. You know, always littering the hallways with trinkets and empty beer cans. Oh, that one is a scientist, a future scholar. I think he studies astrology at the community college. Education's good. I always tell them to study. Something to do with all those stars around his door. He asked me to leave his drawings up on the wall. The symbol of
That's
what and
communism.
how?
It's a symbol for contributing to the demise of our noble state in the name of some made-up world of equality.
I don't believe in equality. Never seen it work.
Okay. What can you tell me about
The
Cindy?
artiste? Nothing I can do about her, I'm afraid. She ruins the walls faster than I can clean them. Still, she leaves an old lady to her business. More than I can say for others.
She mumbles
All right,
some
that's
kind
all.
of a response, then hacks something into her handkerchief. A shift in temperature, the air chills around you. Dust settles on the stony floor. A former architect stands before a slice of window, a room plan in her hand. A cold wave has made the air in the building stand still and frozen, with temperatures falling down to -20 degrees Celsius. Is red from the cold. She's breathing on her fingers, clasping the plan. Traces of sadness are visible in her expression.
The plan.
Faint pencil lines on paper depict the same place, but a missing eastern wall connects the room with the neighboring apartment. Ideas for arranging the furniture have been jotted down. It's clean and empty, with new tapestry embellishing the walls. A standard HB graphite pencil has fallen off a three-legged stool in the middle of the room.
I don't know what any of that meant. goes into the fridge. Okay. A door to be remembered. I mean, if you can hear a voice, might want to knock, but okay. Check it out, Kim. It's
Just
that
an
wall.
ordinary wall. Nothing.
Alright. I mean, other than some, like, other random things we could get into. We have a couple skill points. Let's try and investigate this body. If we can just get that done, we can call it there.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its...
Okay.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden. You touch the dead man's body.
It'll come to you sooner or later. At least he's safe here.
Oh my god. Fuck, man. Do I use another skill point? I mean, I guess I have to. God damn it. This is
The
why
bear's
you
eyes
save
are
and
still
load.
glowing red.
Alright.
It's
Come
guarding
on,
over
83.
the freezing corpse hidden inside. Your arms reach out and your eyes
God.
close, as if by their own volition. It's dark all around. You feel cold, slippery flesh, first with your fingertips, then under the palm of your hand.
What is this?
His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips. Like a spider, your hand crawls over his features. Everything is silent.
Put your fingers in his mouth.
The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop. You're on the right track.
This feels
The
right.
tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth is slippery, delicate to touch. From the soft meat, teeth are budding. Hard pearls of bone in the gums. And in the back of the mouth. Can you feel it? You're so close. Rip his jaws open now. Look in. A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your naked hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from the throat. And there, in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate. You see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius, the edges appear darkened.
Fuck yeah.
Keep going.
A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound. Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up, tissue damage, wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth, right into his brainstem.
Brainstem?
Yes, that's what this part is called. You've seen the drawings. You've studied them. Your fingers slide into the remains of his limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep into both hemispheres.
There's a cavity cut right between the hemispheres.
The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen on paper. Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further, but the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow. All the muscles in your body harden. Time to enter him.
Punch a hole.
The cartilage gives in with a crack, like some fruit. Just like that, your hand is in his head. Strange fluid streams down your wrist, and then you feel it with the tip of your finger. Sharp, serrated material. The edges cut right into your skin. The pain is barely noticeable under the adrenaline rush.
I feel a solid object right under the skull.
Can you get to it?
There's a tiny crack, a protrusion in the cranium, right in the back of his head. Your finger must be pointing straight at it, from the inside.
We have the makings of a very small exit wound here.
Okay. 97%. Okay.
You pick the object between your index and middle finger. Feels sharp, like metal. You press your teeth together. Your jaw is clenched. All you need to do is just...
I got it.
Good.
The inside of the head feels cold and smooth, like a glove. Sweat dripping down your brow. Careful not to lose the prize between your fingers. With a plop, your hand emerges from the mouth, covered in blood up to the wrist. Between your fingers, a small flower, a blossom made of lead.
A bullet.
Goddamn right, a bullet.
The bullet falls in the bag, leaving a smattering of blood on the plastic. He raises the bag under his eyes and says,
A non-caliber rifle. Some kind of brittle alloy. Fractured on impact.
Can I
Of
have
course. You've earned it. We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion collar. Soft palate, back of mouth. High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound?
Sounds about right.
Opinion, fatal injury.
Goddamn right.
And one last thing. We can now fill in injury number 3. Ligament mark. Opinion, non-fatal. Post-mortem. Treatment.
He's proposing the bullet was the real cause of death, and the hanging an attempt to conceal this fact.
It was all treatment,
Yes,
Kim.
and the belt around his neck. The hanging. Even dragging him to the yard. All of it was done after this man was already dead.
Dead. Dabba doop doop.
Dead.
You think so?
I have had my doubts for a while now. Since I saw there were no signs of struggle on his hands, and no claw marks on his neck. There have been other signs too. Small things. We were right not to assign hanging as cause of death, as the perpetrators expected we would. No such luck for them.
Okay. Who would do this?
That's for us to find out. But this, it will make finding them just a little easier.
Why would anyone?
To hide something. The real killer, the real motivation, what really happened here.
I think I need to wash myself.
Oh, you really, really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirling in Rags should come with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it in the evening.
Maybe the bullet holds more
Yes,
answers.
we should take a closer look at it. I am certain it has more to tell us.
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it.
We
What
put him in a
happens
bag
next?
and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. The body bag should contain the odor for the duration of the transport. I would drive him to processing, but it's too late to do that today. I'll do it first thing tomorrow. No problem. One more thing. This was really good work, detective.
Goddamn right it was, Kim. All right. Okay. Nice. We fucking found the real cause of death. And never wore pants the whole time. Let's see, one last thing we'll try to do is sweet talk guard into giving me the room for the night.
Can I help
Hey,
you?
buddy.
Yes. Have you got it?
How
A
much
lot.
do I owe you?
For the room and broken window, 100 real. Like
Alright, never
what?
mind.
I was rarely enjoying talking about the money you owe me.
Never mind. Yeah, I don't have 100 real. I mean, that fucking Everard was only gonna give me 25, so not like that would have helped that much. Alright. We will call it there. Now that was good police work. We got a good amount done. I mean, I don't think I've ever played it where I got, you know, all this done on the first day. So, good. And we have not reloaded anything other than when we die, which is like kind of the game kind of decides where you load after that. So, we're doing pretty good, I would say. We have I mean, we still have a lot, but we're definitely making progress. We went an extra hour too. I was thinking, so SummerSlam, actual SummerSlam is tomorrow, which I didn't realize until like just today. So just like I wanted to keep the 2K like on time with the actual pay-per-views, but I don't want to not do Disco Elysium, so we'll work all that out. Tomorrow should be a big old trio takeover for what should be the finale of Saturday Night Live, because he's really impressed the executives at the network, and they decided that he paid his dues in the shit spot at 11 o'clock, and they're giving him a prime time slot. At least that's what I've been led to believe. So, that'll be good. We're going to play Sea of Thieves. Got that new Monkey Island update. It's going to be good. So, stay tuned for that. We'll be back with Family Guy on Monday. And yeah, that's pretty much the schedule going forward. We'll see where Zach ends up, but other than that, We're pretty much set on the Mondays and Fridays right here. Right here, right now. On Oidoy and Friday Night Zackdown. How about that? So, thanks for tuning in. It's been a good one. We will be back on Monday. Well, or tomorrow night for Saturday Night Live. So peace out.